So over the last year, we've gotten a lot of rumors about Sea of Thieves and it not being exclusive to Xbox and PC anymore, but also coming to PS5 and Nintendo Switch. But as we know now, it only came to PS5 and never actually came to Nintendo Switch. So today we're going to be talking about why that is and if Sea of Thieves will come to Nintendo Switch into the future, or maybe even come to the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever's going to come out after the Switch, because the Switch is 7 years old, going on 8 years old into 2025. And honestly, I think Sea of Thieves would be a really good fit for the Switch, but I just don't think it'd be possible. So, with all that being said, let's start talking about it. So the rumors of Sea of Thieves coming to Switch kind of stopped once Sea of Thieves dropped for PS5, because there was a lot of rumors that it'd be coming to both consoles. It only ended up coming to PlayStation, and the easy, honest answer, in all likelihood, is that the Switch just simply can't run Sea of Thieves. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Switch. I own one, and I think Sea of Thieves would be a perfect game for the Switch. I mean, if you look at the art style, like the vibrant colors, it just looks like a game that Nintendo would make, or at least a game that would be on the Switch. And Nintendo and Microsoft kind of get along now, so it's not really too far-fetched to see like Xbox games come to Switch. There's games like Cuphead that have done it, and probably some others that I'm forgetting, but that's just off the top of my head. And also, Rare used to be a Nintendo studio. Rare made a lot of classic Nintendo games, so I think it kind of fit well on the Switch. But the reason it's not on the Switch is probably because of how weak the Switch is, I guess, in terms of like running games. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen like third-party games run on the Switch. They just don't look good. They don't look good. They don't run well. And even like Nintendo first-party games have some struggles running on the Switch. And I just think for how big and open Sea of Thieves is, there would be a lot of problems. Like there'd be frame rate issues, pop-in issues, a lot of things like that. And also, the Nintendo Switch Online infrastructure is terrible. I don't know if you've ever tried to play a Nintendo Switch game online, but it is awful. It is terrible. Don't recommend it. So, I think those are the big reasons that Sea of Thieves will not come to Nintendo Switch and has not come to Switch yet, because like the multiplayer is such a big part of Sea of Thieves. I mean, you can't really have Sea of Thieves without the multiplayer, right? You can't really play single player Sea of Thieves. And even then, if you could on Switch, it just wouldn't run well. However, I do think that when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, whenever it does come out, I think it should come out soon, but that's a topic for another day. I think whenever that comes out, then Sea of Thieves would be a perfect game to put on there. I mean, it's no secret that Sea of Thieves is not in a good spot right now. The player counts are down. There's just not a lot going on with the game. And I think adding that game to Switch could do a lot for the game. I mean, when the game came out on PS5, I think there was a little bit of a hype train for Sea of Thieves. Now it kind of died down a little bit, but I think it could be sustained on Nintendo, on the Nintendo Switch, because I think this Switch is I think it's just a better fit for Sea of Thieves. Like I said, it just kind of looks like a game that would be on Switch. And also, I think being able to play it portably would be really cool. That's not really something we've seen on Sea of Thieves. And I just think any way that they could expand the player base of the game would be great for the game, especially if they want to continue to update it for years. And I also think there could be some cool things that they do, considering that Rare used to have like some partnership deals with Nintendo, and Rare made a lot of classic Nintendo games and characters, like Donkey Kong. I'm pretty sure was made by Rare, and a lot of games back in the day. So I think there's a lot they could do with that. But yeah, the bottom line is that I would love to see Sea of Thieves on Switch. I just don't think it's possible, but I think if the Switch 2 can really improve on the Switch in terms of power, and especially like the online system, because again, online on the Switch is just terrible. So I think if they can fix that on the Switch 2 and make the Switch 2 more powerful, I think we get Sea of Thieves. I mean, the Switch is less powerful than the Xbox One, and Sea of Thieves can run on the Xbox One. So, who knows? But I think if the Switch 2 is at least as powerful as the Xbox One, we will see Sea of Thieves on the Switch 2. But again, I don't think it's going to come to the current Switch. And hopefully the Switch 2 launches soon because, again, 2025 will be 8 years since the Switch launched. And it's one of the most successful consoles ever. So I think capitalizing on that would be great for Sea of Thieves. Alright, so with all that being said, we're still going to look at hypothetically what it would look like if Sea of Thieves did come to the Switch. So first thing we got to do is change the graphics settings. Most Switch games, like most third-party Switch games, don't run that high a frame rate. But we're going to have to ignore the frame rate for now. We're just going to have to look at what the graphics are going to look like. So I'm just going to go in the default quality selection. Probably cursed, right? I feel like cursed would be the best option. Yeah, I mean, this is very, very low quality. There's not much detail in anything. I think it'd probably look something like this. This is what it would look like. Probably. I mean, the water just looks terrible. I mean, look at that. No detail whatsoever. Does not look good at all. But again, they'd probably have to do this. Look how low quality these textures are. This is probably what the graphics would look like if it came to Switch. So now let's kind of mess with it a little bit more. Because this game would take a lot to run. People don't realize how big this game is and the scope of it, how open world it is. So the resolution also, you'd have to change that because the Switch only has a 720p screen if you're playing it on handheld. So I don't know if it'll show up on video, but this looks really bad. But this is probably what's gonna have to look like on handheld. Obviously, it's giving me way more frames, it's giving me like 150 frames, but on handheld, it's gonna have even less frames. And this is probably the best it's gonna look like. I don't even know if it'll look this good. Aha, I found it. Frame rate lock 60. Will the game even run at 60 on the Switch? Yeah, so this does not look good at all. 60 FPS on this. Now keep in mind, if you try to run this game on the Switch at 60 FPS, even with these graphic settings, your Switch is it might explode. Let me see. I feel like 30 would be more appropriate if you're running it on handheld, right? So like, you'd probably have to be 720p 30 FPS. Oh, this is terrible. Oh no. But I feel like this is the closest we're gonna get to seeing how it would run and look on the Switch's handheld. I mean, this is not good at all. Let's see how the fruit looks. I mean, it definitely would be playable. I don't know if I would do like any sort of PvP on this. I feel like this is what the game would look like if you played it on handheld on the Switch if it came out on the current Nintendo Switch. Now I feel like we can go back to 60 FPS if you're playing it in the like TV mode on the Switch, whatever it's called, dock, I guess. You'd probably run 1080p 60 FPS maybe. That might be a little bit too ambitious for the Switch. I mean, the difference between 1080p and 120 is night and day. So this is 1080p 60. I think this could look alright. I mean, at the very least, you'd be able to get 30 FPS, I feel like, with 1080p. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you'd either have to run 1080p 30 FPS or 720p 60. I don't know if you get 1080 60. And I feel like there'd be a lot of problems with like textures popping in and out. Maybe it could do 1080p 60. I don't know, but like this. So this is why I said like they probably won't make Sea of Thieves for the current version of the Nintendo Switch, because the Switch is kind of at the end of its life cycle. So maybe on the next one, but if they do make a second Switch or some sort of successor, because I feel like it'd be really cool to have that on the Switch. But again, I just don't think it'd be possible, because even to do like 720p 30 FPS, they would have to really do a lot because of how big this game is and how much they'd have to load in. So 720p 30 is definitely what we're going to see on handheld on the Switch. I don't see it getting much better than this. I don't know if the recording will pick up just how bad this is, but yeah, this is pretty terrible. But again, I mean, it's the best you can get for playing handheld. I mean, I think it'd be really cool to be able to play Sea of Thieves in a handheld way. But I just don't think the Switch would be ready for it. Let's see, just for fun, I'm curious what 540p looks like. Oh, this is terrible. Oh no. I don't think it'll be this bad. But this is probably what it would look like if Sea of Thieves came out on Xbox 360. Oh, it's so hard to just move. This shit hurts my eyes. So right now I just put it on 1080p 30, and I think this is my final say of what this game would look like in docked mode on the Switch. It would probably be 1080p 30 FPS. Again, this is all with the lowest graphic settings cursed, and then obviously handheld would be the same graphic settings, just at 720p 30 FPS. But I don't think it would look too bad. I mean, this 1080p 30 FPS is definitely playable. I mean, it just got the lowest graphic settings at 30 FPS. I don't think anyone who's going to be playing Sea of Thieves on a Switch is going to be playing it for the graphics. I mean, so Sea of Thieves is a game that does look really good, and like even on the lowest graphic settings, it looks really good. But yeah, overall, I don't think Sea of Thieves will be coming to the Nintendo Switch that we currently have. I think if they make a successor to the Switch or a Switch 2, which they probably will be doing soon, because the Switch has been out almost, what, like 8 years now? It came out in like 2017. It's almost 2025. So maybe on the next one, I think they would do it, because Microsoft has been adding a lot of their games onto the Switch. A lot of their exclusives, and Rare used to make a lot of Nintendo games. So I think it'd be really cool to see, but yeah, this is probably what it would look like. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. It's kind of a different style of video, kind of a unique style of video. Let me know if you guys like this, and be sure to subscribe on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And again, thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think about Sea of Thieves coming to the Nintendo Switch now or in the future with the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever is going to come out. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts on this, and thank you guys for watching.